Anyways, first things first, welcome back to Diesel Creek. My name's Matt. Behind me, new to me.
The world of heavy construction in the heart of America is not a place for the faint of heart. It is a brutal, unforgiving crucible where time is the only currency that matters and mechanical failure is a direct path to total financial ruin. For Matt Stader, this relentless environment was never just a career path. It was his grueling everyday reality, a constant battle against the elements and the clock. In this high-stakes arena, the roar of an engine is the heartbeat of a business. And when that heartbeat stops, the pressure becomes suffocating. Matt lived on the razor's edge, where the difference between a successful week and a devastating loss depended entirely on his ability to coax life out of aging steel. This harsh upbringing in the trenches of labor forged a man who understood that sweat and oil were the price of survival, laying the foundational grit that would eventually transform a struggling mechanic into a legendary figure. Diesel Creek was never envisioned as a polished media empire or a calculated grab for digital fame. It was born from the raw, desperate ache of necessity in a world where you either fixed it yourself or you didn't eat. Matt didn't pick up a camera to become an influencer. He captured his life because his life was an endless cycle of heavy-duty problem-solving that demanded documenting. While other creators sought out studio lighting and scripted perfection, Matt embraced the chaos of the mud, the stubbornness of rusted bolts, and the honest stains of grease that never truly wash off. His brand became a sanctuary of authenticity in a digital landscape often criticized for its superficiality. He offered his audience something rare, the unvarnished truth of a man whose armor was his calloused hands and whose mission was simply to keep moving forward, despite the mounting odds stacked against his aging fleet of machinery. Long before the global audience arrived and the YouTube checks began to provide a safety net, Matt's life was defined by exhausting, midnight battles fought in the dirt under the flickering glow of a work light. A breakdown in the field wasn't just an inconvenience. It was a full-blown emergency that required him to work through the freezing night, fighting off overwhelming fatigue and the biting cold just to ensure the job could resume by sunrise. These were the lonely hours where character is truly built, far from any cheering crowd. It was during these desperate moments of mechanical warfare that Matt developed an almost spiritual connection with his equipment. He learned the language of iron and the temperaments of diesel, understanding that every machine has a soul that can be saved if you are willing to bleed for it. This period of intense struggle was the true training ground for the epic restorations that would soon captivate the world. Every legendary saga has a pivotal turning point, and for Matt, it was the audacious decision to trek into the treacherous, forgotten swamps of Pennsylvania to resurrect a massive, derelict tractor that the world had long ago left for dead. This wasn't merely a mechanical repair, it was an act of defiance against time and decay itself. As the camera rolled, millions watched in breathless anticipation as Matt battled decades of rot and the suffocating grip of the earth to bring a fallen giant back to life. When that engine finally coughed out a cloud of black smoke and roared with primal power, it sent a shockwave through the internet. It wasn't just about the machine anymore. It was a powerful, emotional narrative of resurrection that resonated with the human spirit's desire to overcome. This feat proved that Matt wasn't just a mechanic, he was a miracle worker of the rust, a man who could breathe life into the abandoned. Success is a double-edged sword, and as Diesel Creek exploded into a global phenomenon, Matt suddenly found himself thrust under the harsh, unforgiving glare of the YouTube algorithm and the cynical eyes of millions. The very authenticity that made him famous now made him a target for armchair experts and relentless critics who scrutinized every turn of his wrench and questioned every unconventional repair method. The pressure to constantly produce high-stakes content while maintaining his massive property began to feel like a new kind of prison. The video poignantly highlights the dark side of digital stardom, the creeping exhaustion, and the looming threat of burnout that haunts creators who give too much of themselves to their audience. Matt faced a profound identity crisis, caught between the man who loved the quiet work of repair and the public figure who was expected to perform for an insatiable global gallery. Recognizing the danger of losing his soul to the noise of fame, Matt made the courageous choice to step back from the frantic chase for viral hits and ground himself back in the fundamental struggle of mechanical work. He sought refuge in his own creation, acquiring vast acres of land that he transformed into a sprawling steel sanctuary, a haven where the broken and the forgotten are given a dignified second chance at life. This retreat wasn't an act of surrender, but a strategic move to reclaim his peace and his passion. Surrounded by his beloved bulldozers, dump trucks, and road graders, he rediscovered the simple, meditative joy of turning a bolt without the weight of expectations. In this private kingdom of iron, Matt reinforced his commitment to the craft, proving that he would always choose the integrity of the work over the fleeting approval of the masses, ensuring that Diesel Creek remained a place of true substance. Nothing exemplifies the Diesel Creek ethos more powerfully than Matt's ambitious project to construct a massive, fully functional sawmill entirely from salvaged materials and sheer willpower. This wasn't about building something pretty for a magazine cover. It was about the raw, unapologetic utility of a machine designed to transform timber into treasure. Every beam of that sawmill represents a victory over the scrap heap, and every spinning blade is a testament to Matt's ingenuity and refusal to buy what he could build with his own hands. This project became a monument to his philosophy. If a machine works and serves its purpose, it possesses a rugged beauty that no factory-fresh equipment can ever replicate. The sawmill saga captivated viewers because it showcased the ultimate form of self-reliance, proving that with enough salvaged steel and a clear vision, one man can build an industrial empire from the wreckage of the past. In an era where most social media stars only broadcast their highlights, Matt Stader's greatest strength lies in his willingness to document his most devastating failures. When a project he has poured weeks of blood, sweat, and thousands of dollars into suffers a catastrophic, engine-shattering breakdown, he doesn't turn off the camera. He lets the audience feel the weight of the loss. This raw vulnerability is magnetic, creating a deep, unbreakable bond of trust with his viewers. By showing the moments where he is defeated, covered in grease, and staring at a pile of broken parts, he teaches a profound lesson that failure is not a terminal point, but a necessary milestone on the road to mastery. It humanizes the myth of the invincible mechanic and shows that even the best in the business face moments of total despair. This honesty has turned his channel into more than entertainment. It is a masterclass in resilience for a world that fears making mistakes. Matt Stader and Diesel Creek stand as a powerful, roaring counter-narrative to a modern world obsessed with disposable goods and the hollow promise of instant gratification. In a society that encourages us to throw things away the moment they falter, Matt is a lonely sentinel, guarding the value of the old and the durable. With every seized engine he unfreezes and every hydraulic ram he reseals, he sends a defiant message to the world: don't discard it, fix it, value the labor that created it. His work is a form of environmental and spiritual activism, proving that there is untapped potential in the scrap that others ignore. This philosophy has struck a deep chord with a generation feeling disconnected from the physical world, inspiring them to pick up tools and reclaim their own sense of agency. He has become the champion of the overlooked, proving that old iron and, by extension, old value still has a vital place in our rapidly changing future. Ultimately, the story of Diesel Creek is not merely about the deafening roar of a revived engine or the impressive sight of a restored bulldozer. It is an epic testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. Matt Stader has evolved from a local contractor into a global symbol of perseverance, demonstrating to millions that with enough determination, ingenuity, and honest sweat, you can fix almost anything that is broken. Be it a decades-old piece of machinery or the fragments of your own life, his channel serves as a form of collective therapy, offering hope to veterans, teenagers, and laborers alike who find strength in his unwavering persistence. Matt reminds us that hard work is not just a means to an end, but a path to dignity and self-discovery. As long as there is smoke in the air and grease on his hands, Matt Stader will continue to prove that as long as you refuse to quit, the giants of the past and the dreams of the future will never truly die.